like really deeply depressed and had no meaning in life, so
Yeah.
I felt like kind of pathetic doing it because I felt in earnest. Do you know what I mean? But like, I do actually think that I could successfully like do an Instagram persona, particularly
I feel
for
like
him, because he's very like.
What would be
expressive
like
and
your character
disgusting.
for Petey?
He would be like kind of like a ratchet. He wouldn't be like full ratchet cat.
Slay.
He wouldn't be pot roast because I think she doted on him in a way that was like
What's pot
ultimately
roast?
off-putting. Pot roast was this cat, this like girl on TikTok who just like her cat's name was Pot Roast, and he was really old, and she adopted him when he was old, and he was like a grumpy and like kind of gross cat, and she was just like I'm gonna be tweaking that.
Girl, I mean, honestly, I think that's what tonight is for, and next week will be also for. No, that's what tonight is for. I actually don't know what time it is. What time is it?
What time is it? I don't know what time it is. Here it is.
And after you take a bump, you have to drink
Oh,
more.
it's 10:46.
Girl, slay! Wow, it's way earlier.
It's because the board.
How am I always literally? I'm already at 1 p.m. Keep chugging. I've drank half of this in like 40 minutes.
Wait, I need to just tell you this.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, please.
And then I want to go back to what you were saying before, which I already forget. Ever since I came off of birth control and I'm on the fucking copper IUD, it's crazy. Anytime I'm on my period, my boobs grow like 2 sizes.
Let's fucking go, bitch.
Fucking crazy. And I was like, I really do feel like birth control just had me like,
castrated as a woman. Yeah.
Literally, like. I also wonder, like, would I make the same choices in my life, in my romantic
Exactly,
choices,
If I wasn't fucking chemically castrated by the big pharma industry.
I'm so mad that chemical castration piece I wrote for the exercise last semester was met with, like, pure
They just didn't fucking get it.
I thought it was funny.
I was reading some of your, like, Tumblr posts. Like, I was skimming them. I wasn't really reading the readings. Because I had realized that you've written so much on that Tumblr, like, way more than I ever did. And there's so much that I never, like, the majority of it that I never read. And so I was skimming it. I was like, oh, wait, like, these are, like, really good. Like, I was actually kind of gagged. I was like, these are...
Which one? I, like, forgot what I even wrote.
One was like, it was like a field notes guide for
like wait, I forgot about that.
And then there was another one, fuck, what was it? The first one was something different. I remember, like, the first post that I've, like, on your blog, and God, I forget what it was, but I remember being like, this morning I was on the toilet, I was like, yeah, and there was, but that was down, there was some more stuff above that.
And there was that piece I lost somewhere in there, which is really sad.
Oh, shit, what was it? No, and the stuff that I read, it was just this morning, I was taking a shit, was like really like, oh wow, like I don't know why, like I was really shocked at like so kind of the quality of some of these like little Tumblr things that you did. It was when
we were like, you know, fucking.
I read back some of mine and I was like, okay, like some of these are really.
I know I keep harping on the self-interview, but I actually do. Oh, that's what we were talking about was the Forever Mag thing before this, but I'll just say I think the meme zine thing you should like submit. I think you should just submit that, and like fuck it if they don't take it. I think you'll probably know why.
No, but I Instagram stalked this girl. She's some nobody. Like, you know, it's not like this is really important, but that's good, you know, because you know these sorts of like you know us just repeating this process of submitting, getting something in something like it's good for us.
And that's what I was like, okay, we're gonna also trick our brains into doing that. But what I was gonna say is that I am still I really think as it stands. Right now, in its length, you should submit the self-interview somewhere.
Really? I never read that one back.
I think you never read it back because it is. I always think about it and
slay.
I'm gonna get like workshop because I've been in school for like
yeah. You're doing the damn thing now.
Genuinely, I think that piece is so interesting because it's like Grimes' voice, like as an artifact.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why is this person doing this? It's like to like seek some answer that is inherent in the fact that like one is having like a self-interview, but then like beyond that, the actual questions that the interviewer asks
I literally
really
don't even remember.
Funny because it preempts. It's like what the response is preempts the next question, but then there's a couple times that it backs off of that and it goes like, oh, like I'm not gonna go there. Like, why would you think I would go there? Which is really funny because it's like the self dodging the self in artificial way. Like,
girl, we're so good, you know, like, Jesus Christ.
No, but, like, genuine, and like, I say this because, like, I do think you and I, at some points, want for, like, earnestly, like...
True, yeah.
Like, genuinely, like, it is, not only was I entertained, because I'm always entertained by what you write, but I was actually really gagged by, like, Marco wrote this in, like, 40 minutes when we were on a Pomodoro and strung out as fuck, and, like, it was, like, really, like, deep, like, the layer, it was very layered, it was rich.
And, you know, even, I did feel that,
I
can't do it, exactly. They can mimic the fucking MFA sensibility fucking New Yorker thing as much as they want, but you can't, that thing, exactly, that core that me and you have, yeah. The grain of the voice, slay.
But it's a thing. It's exactly what Miss Dame Kristen Stewart said.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a perspective on it, then like I just don't think you really need any. I'm telling you, no, like I literally tried to explain it to Lucas like 3 times, like why this was so surreal watching that clip, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm just not even gonna. Yeah, you sent it to me. It was like surreal the way she said it, the exact same way that we said, because we always end up at that point, and I think we've said that exact sentence. I was like, she's listening to our conversations. They're all listening.
It's also particularly funny that it was Kristen Stewart, because I've always deeply felt that there's
some sort of connection.
She went dykier than I ever would, but like there was some affinity that I felt with her, like some parasocial like connection that I feel like was obvious to more than just me.
Back in my fucking sinuses.
And I will say one of those things being that I acted in this short piece that my cousin wrote the screenplay
for. Wait, you did? I didn't know this.
No, I mean, it was a YouTube series.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrible. I was like Bella. But I was like playing
slay.
Kristen Stewart, like in a
doing
comedy
Bella,
version of like the Twilight kind of thing. And I was like,
God, your cousin's a fucking weirdo.
She's definitely a lesbian, which I have always been like, look, bitch, like, you're not gonna beat me to it, and she fucking didn't, and I made sure to spread some rumors around my uncle and aunt.
Oh, did you?
I always do, and I can't even, like, I'm usually stoned whenever I do, because I'm always, like, out of my mind at these family events, because it's the only time I can't tolerate it. Otherwise, like, it's genuinely detrimental to my health, because they're all so Catholic,
I know. It's a fucking mindful. No, it's
so
is. I remember growing up
with. To not give a fuck.
I know.
I always step in it, and I stepped in it when I was a kid, and I got burned. And now,
being a certain kind, yeah, exactly.
And now
I've really internalized the message, just like not telling anyone anything. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Because it's because you were the gay cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I was the gay cousin. Yeah. Everyone always knew I was a fucking guy.
I know. So why the fuck is it this so fucking like crazy thing when we all know it already?
Talk about it?
I know exactly. Oh. No, the
like,
first thing.
You know I'm gay, right? And my uncle's. I didn't know anything about that. Okay, come the fuck on. We're talking about our 16-year-old.
First 2 sentences my mom said to me when I had the guts to come out to her, like on a drive to some like fucking community theater.
Did she pretend?
No, she said, "Oh yeah." Well, she did pretend to be shocked, which like God, even as a kid, I was such a fucking faggot. But her first 2 questions were, "But what about grandchildren?" And wait, fuck, what was the second one was literally what we were just talking about. It was also what were we just talking about? Gay cousin. Oh, the second thing was you cannot tell grandma and you can't tell your dad.
Yeah.
Girl, as if they don't already fucking know.
Exactly.
People are stupid. Like, people aren't stupid, you know? Like, even stupid people are not fucking stupid. What is, they will notice, girl.
It's just like...
And I still have this thing of just, like, this, like, oh, don't be yourself around your relatives, you know, because, like, you know, you're gonna say something that's off color.
Think about it, and then it's like, okay, well, I mean... That's just a Catholic thing, no matter what. It's not necessarily, like, of course it is a gay thing, and, like, that's obviously deeply...
But no, I think it very much is a Catholic upbringing, Catholic school, sort of.
Period. Like, it was funny. You know what was so interesting, and perhaps fuels my appreciation of fiction, is the fact that, like, you'd be sitting around, you'd go to church with these people, have a holiday meal, and there'd be one level of conversation, and then there's a level of conversation, and we've all heard the fucking stories when it's not, like, church and family dinner time, and then you go and listen to people say things, and you're like, oh, but I know, like, that this uncle had his stomach pumped because he, like, drank himself, like,
Yeah.
half to death, and, you know, all this shit, and it's like, that makes sense that, like, my mom is the way that she is. Like, my mom is a fucking Nazi because she was raised by extreme Catholic, Western Catholics. Like,
and there's just something about that sensibility, you know, exactly. It's like a very specific kind of, because I can say the same thing about my mother. It's a big shame thing, a big behave the right way sort of, yeah.
Because it's not that no one can see it. Obviously, everyone can see it. That's the
exactly,
whole
but
thing.
we're going to make sure that, you know, we are on track,
it's
you know.
It's an Irish exit, you know. It's, like, actually kind of the reverse of an Irish exit. It's
what
like,
are you, like, in terms of European?
It's funny because, like, I am not Irish at all, although I feel like some weird affinity to, but I think it's just that, like,
it's the persecution complex.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm mostly on my mom's side, like, pretty much all German, but they were, like, it was, like, 1800s German, so they immigrated to, like
oh,
Austria,
yeah, you're like,
like,
yeah.
West, like, they're like almost like the Pennsylvania